Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the ball poem written by one of the famous poets, John Berryman. Children, if you were to read about John Berryman, you would know what stature that gentleman held in the literary world. When a person has gone beyond his sufferings and experiences, he feels a certain positivity towards life. He realizes that letting go of things is the only option as the way life happens. This poem will tell you about the harsh reality of an ever changing world. A young child and his playing ball are for all purposes inseparable. Gradually, with the passage of time, this affinity wears off and what was once his life becomes a forgotten entity. It is obvious that priorities keep on changing and there are worldly concerns that take center stage. Yet, as emotional beings, there is a nostalgic feeling when fond memories find their way back in moments of loneliness or despair. This is a poem with actively strong emotions and very heart touchingly written. So, what is the theme of the ball poem? The theme of this poem is that life is precious and should not be wasted. Life has to be lived, and life can be lived purposefully and fruitfully only when we stand up and come out of our depressions. The message the poem is conveying is about losing something that you love and then to learn to overcome this loss and grow up and move ahead in life. In this poem, the boy's ball personifies his young days and happy innocence. Money is external. It cannot buy back our love nor replace the things that we love, the things that really matter to us. With the loss of his ball, the boy senses his first responsibility in a materialistic world where those whom you love and your worldly possessions will not be with you forever. Now, let us move on to the line-wise explanation of the poem. For your convenience, children, I have divided the poem into a group of few lines so that it is easier for you to understand. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. The poem is about a little boy. For the first time in his young life, he is learning what it is like to experience grief at the loss of a much loved possession, in this case, his ball. The ball is symbolic of the sweet memories of his childhood. The boy loses his ball and watches it bouncing down the street and into the water. To us, the loss of a ball may be of very minor significance, but to the little boy, it was a prized possession. The poet tries to divert the boy's mind by saying that there are other balls because the boy wants the same ball back. The ball has been with him for a very long time and it was linked to the memories of the days when he played with it. The boy's ball personifies his young days and his happy innocence. Moving on to the next set of lines, we have an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbour where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. The poet goes on to explain that when the young boy loses his ball, it bounces away and lands in the harbour. The boy is very much troubled at the loss of his ball and plunges into grief. He stands stiff and trembling while staring at his ball. He is upset as he looks into the gloomy water because he cannot find his ball over there. The boy is deeply affected by the loss of the ball as it has been with him for a very long time. When the ball bounces into the water, all the memories of his childhood days flashes in front of him. This leads to a realization that those moments will never come back, just like the ball. The poet doesn't want to offer him money to buy another ball as he feels it is worthless to do so. Explaining further, we have now he senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. People will take balls, balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. Here, the poet wants to say that the boy gets his first sense of responsibility. From the loss of the ball, the boy is learning what it means to lose something in a world of possessions where he will lose things, buy some more to replace the ones lost, but will never be able to buy back the same thing that he had lost. The poet makes the boy understand about his responsibility as the loss is immaterial. Money is external as it cannot buy back memories nor can it replace the things that we love, the things that really matter to us. Now, the last set of lines. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. The epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. Before moving on with the explanation, I would like to explain to you the word epistemology. The epistemology means knowledge. That means here the poet is talking about the knowledge of loss. Now the poet moves on by saying, with the loss of his ball, the boy is learning how to stand up in a world of possessions. He is learning to overcome his loss and move ahead in life. The poet says that knowing that every man has to stand up after facing losses in life, the boy too will learn to stand up and leave the losses behind and move ahead. We will now discuss the poetic devices used in this poem. First of all, children, you will notice that the poem has been written in blank verse. That means the poem comprises of unrhymed lines. That's why you will not find any rhyme scheme in this poem. The next poetic device used over here is symbolism. Symbolism means a figure of speech where an object, person, or situation has another meaning other than its literal meaning. The ball symbolizes the boy's young and innocent days. Thirdly, we have repetition. Repetition, examples of repetition in this poem are in the second line where you will find the word what being repeated 2 times. Then again in the 12th line you will find the word balls being repeated twice. Lastly, we have alliteration where again the word what and balls can be used as examples of repetition as well. And we also have another example over here, and that is in line number 13, buys a ball back. So we have the alphabet B over here, which is being stressed several times. That's all for today. See you in my next class.